It's something like that. If I had a title, it would be, "What's the Plan?" As most of you know by now, I am running for the city school board. This whole process has been a real life-changing event in a lot of ways. My wife and I have been out walking the district every weekend for the last 8 weeks, on Saturdays and Sundays, knocking on doors and talking to people, and it's really been exceptionally interesting. If I don't win, it's really okay, because I'm just glad that I had the experience to do this and talk to all these people. It's just been fascinating and interesting to see what's on people's mind and what they're mad about, what they're happy about, things they'd like to see changed. One of the very smart things I think I did was, in my candidate statement, which is in the voter guide and also in the flyer that we've been leaving at people's homes, the very last sentence says, "Contact me at," and I put my email address and phone number. When I first decided to do this, I thought, I could get a ton of calls and a ton of emails, and if it's really bad, then I'll just change my phone number and my email address. I haven't had a ton of them, but all of them that I've had have really been interesting. One lady called a couple of weeks ago and said that she had just had a chance to look at her voter guide. She said, "I've never seen anybody do that before." She says, "I'm so impressed. She says, I have a way to get a hold of somebody if I want to complain or I want to compliment or whatever." It just impressed the heck out of her that I would do that. And that's the same reaction that I've gotten from everybody that I've heard from, is they were just amazed that somebody would do that. Have to admit, I stole it from somebody else. And when I saw it, Neil Derry, when he ran for supervisor last June, he had that in the voter guide. And I thought, well, that's really weird. And I thought, boy, I bet he's going to be sorry. And then the more I thought about it, I thought, I'm going to do that. And it's proven to work, I think, to my benefit. But you should always have a plan. So here's my plan. I don't have all the answers. A bolt of lightning didn't come down and strike my house and give me all the answers to all of the woes and problems of the school district. But I do have a couple of answers, a couple of ideas. And I have a ton of questions. And I've told everybody else, keep my name, keep my number, keep my email address, and let me know what your questions are. Because I don't know the answers, but I will go find them out for you. But here's the ideas that I have. First of all, in my humble opinion, there is a huge amount of no fiscal responsibility or accountability in the school district. They have a lot of money, but they say they don't. We have teachers who are buying supplies, especially in elementary schools. They will buy anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 worth of supplies out of their own pocket. That's just wrong. All of us pay taxes to educate our kids. In this school district, they get a little over $9,000 per child per year from the state. And we got teachers going out buying supplies? What's wrong with this? I mean, it's just nuts. So I want to return some fiscal responsibility and accountability back to the district. We need to look at the budget and look at every single item on there, and there can't be any sacred cows. There's way too much money spent on administration. They have what I like to call administrative bloat. And we need to get rid of some of that bloat. So that's the first thing I want to accomplish, and that's kind of ongoing for forever. The next thing is there's really very little to no, excuse me, financial education in schools. There's a lady named Muriel Siebert who is the first woman to ever have a seat on the New York Stock Exchange. Muriel, a few years ago, developed a financial curriculum for Cardozo High School in New York City. That financial curriculum was the most basic things like how to write a check, how to balance a checkbook, to understanding simple contracts, simple interest, compound interest, planning for your retirement, just the whole gambit of things that all of us need to know to survive in the world, to understand finance, just everyday stuff. When you're buying a car, when you get a credit card, when you buy a house, all those things. That curriculum right now today is in 280 schools in 10 states. It is so good. It's so popular. It's just grown tenfold. I want to bring that curriculum here to San Bernardino so kids understand finance, because especially retirement, if they don't understand that as soon as they get a job, they should start putting away something, they're going to be in worse shape than all of us, and all of us are going to be in bad enough shape as it is. They're going to be even worse. The second thing that I want to do, or actually third thing, is there's very little to no vocational classes taught in schools anymore. And I don't know why we ever got away from that. The present superintendent has the mindset that every child is going to college. We have to prepare them to go to college. I got news for you, folks. Every kid's not going to college. They may not have the money. They may not have the grades. They may not have the drive and the determination. It just may not be for them. So why are we trying to tell every kid you have to go to college? What ends up happening is many of these kids who we tell you have to get smart and you have to go to college and be prepared, they end up quitting school. The dropout rate in San Bernardino City schools is about 40%. I mean, it's huge. But if Ryan doesn't want to go to college, he wants to be an auto mechanic, and I keep telling him, you have to go to college, you have to go to college. When he finally gets frustrated, what does he do? He says, oh, forget it. He quits. He just stays home. So I haven't done Ryan any favors, because he had a passion for something that we could have explored and tried to nurture and grow. But instead, I said, no, you have to go to college. So he says, forget you, and he quit. So now he's going to be out there with no high school education, fewer skills. We have really just given him the shaft for the rest of his life because he didn't get to pursue, or at least try, something that he had a passion for. You know what? We're always going to need carpenters, and plumbers, and electricians, and welders, and auto mechanics, and many other jobs like that. When I was in high school, I knew a lot about printing, but I knew I wanted to be a printer. So I took vocational print shop. 3 hours a day, second half of my sophomore year and all of my junior and senior year, because they had shop classes. They had vocational print shop, auto shop, metal shop, and others for people that wanted to be welders or printers or whatever. And like I say, I don't know why we ever got away from that, but we need to do that. I personally know a plumber that I support that makes over 100 grand a year. And I'm sure if we looked, we could all find somebody with a bachelor's degree flipping burgers at McDonald's. So why there's this need to try and tell everybody you have to go to college is just beyond me. So we have to stop that in this district. We have to get back to vocational classes to give kids choices, to give them opportunities. I firmly believe that if you have a child, male or female, doesn't make any difference. If they have a passion, if Mari wanted to be a photographer, so she's doing that, what she wanted to do. What if when she was in high school, if we told her she had to go to college and she had to be prepared to go to college and do all this stuff? Chances are she might have quit. Where now she has a job, she's a good tax-paying citizen, she can support herself. That's what we want. We want people that will be good citizens, can support themselves, pay taxes, and just kind of continue on the American dream. If everybody who was supposed to go to college, there's not enough seats. So like I say, we have to get rid of that mindset. So those are the three things that I want to do, is I want to get the school back on a sound financial footing with some real responsibility and accountability. I want to get some financial education into the classes, and I want to get back to vocational training, because if we don't do that, I think we're just absolutely shortchanging all of these kids. And whether we like it or not, all these kids that are in school today are going to be deciding what rest home to put all of us in at some point. So we need to get them smart and educated so they'll pick a nice place for us.
Good.
Well, if I lived in your district, you'd have my vote.
Vote early and vote often.
That's right. And my dog, too. If you give us a minute or so, Mr. Timer, to give Ron some feedback.